as you see from the title of the video, I am going to be opening up, which I never really do. I wanted to just answer the most popular questions which you guys want to know about what's happening in my life right now. I feel like I'm a bit out of touch with you guys. Like I haven't like actually like talk about like what's actually happening in my actual life right now. Honestly, I don't even believe it myself. This video is actually helping me as well because I get to actually like talk about my thoughts and like actually like get it out. I'm probably gonna be answering questions which I've been avoiding. Just talk about me, I guess. Talk about my feelings. Not a usual thing for me, but here we are. I feel like I just want to like tone this video down a bit, like not my usual like, oh my god, hyper little self, because recently before my videos I've been like forcing myself to drink coffee, and you know how I feel about coffee. I do not like coffee like at all, and I just think that it makes my personality like 10 times bigger and better and more like, interesting. No coffee is involved today, people. I basically put my Insta story, so my Instagram is @Elisabeth, so you know how it be. Put my story, questions you've always wanted to know, because obviously I've gone through a lot of life changes recently, and I feel like I've already spoken about a lot of things, like for example like uni, what the wave house is, why my content's changing, like am I changing, stuff like that. So I'm basically gonna address that all today. I don't feel like I owe it to you guys, but I feel like I owe it to myself. But I obviously want like you guys to know my perspective as well, you get me? Also, I got acrylics for the first time. What's the fuck? Who am I? I'm not sure. This shape's cute. I feel like my fingers can actually wear rings without looking like nubs now. The actual design, yeah, I wanted this, but I got this. It's fine, but I'm gonna paint over them. If you've never actually had acrylics before, they're not even that bad. I feel great. I can still wipe my ass with them, and that's all I need to know. Anyway, let's go on with the questions. Are you still attending uni? Well, that's a very interesting question. I am actually not attending uni anymore. I have deferred. Deferred means that I'm not going this year, but I'm actually attending next year. So I'm like basically taking a year out. I made that decision because I thought, what's the point in going to uni when it's literally first of all COVID and it's gonna be all online learning, and basically my course is digital film production, so it's like very like hands-on practical. What's the point in like trying to learn a hands-on course when I'm gonna go in twice the whole term? It wouldn't benefit me in the long term pretty much, because I wouldn't learn anything. And online learning, oh my god, I tried to do online learning. Did not work. I absolutely hated it. Not for me. So I'm deferring. So I'll see you next year at uni. Have you ever struggled with a mental health illness? Luckily for me, I haven't. I actually have anxiety, which runs through my family, so I'm very like prone to that type of stuff. The thing is, I know how to deal with it within myself, and I've like taught myself, like, because I do get anxious sometimes, and I've taught myself ways on how to like not be anxious, and I know how to handle myself when I'm anxious, so that's really good. But no, I've never struggled with a mental health illness. Do hate comments get to you? Yes. Honestly, it's so difficult because it's like I put myself online and people perceive me in a different way which I perceive myself, which is terrifying, because like every single person you meet will see you in a different way that you see yourself, which is fucking terrifying. Like honestly, you can't help that. Like people will see what you put online, they'll be like, oh, she's this, she's that, and I can't help myself from reading them. I can't help myself from like taking it in and being like, how am I gonna improve myself? I'm very much a people pleaser. I love pleasing people, so I feel like I would do anything for anyone. As soon as I get hate comments, I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing wrong? And I make it really, really personal, but I know within myself that I shouldn't. I know that they don't know me as well as I know myself, but like yeah, they do get to me. I love a good old hate comment. Yeah, no, but I'm learning. People have way too much time in their hands to type all this shit and like literally shit on me pretty much, so it's been difficult, but we're getting through it. Why do you put on a show? That's a very interesting question, to BH. I feel like I've lost touch with myself. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've lost touch with the original Kate who like came on YouTube just because it was a hobby, because it was like fun and stuff like that. I know, and I've realized that I force a personality upon myself sometimes, like with my videos and stuff. Do you know the reason why? The reason why for that is because I am so terrified of becoming irrelevant. I'm so terrified of people not liking me anymore. I'm terrified of like people just being like, oh, she's boring now. So I try and like basically hype myself up and like make myself the best version of myself I can be, like basically like hyper as fuck. Like, have you seen my videos recently? I've been like so like energetic. Before I put on the camera sometimes I'm like, okay, switch up. Like this is my personality. I make my personality into this within like a 10-minute video. It is so condensed and so hyper. It's like overwhelming sometimes. I'm just insecure. I'm just insecure that people won't like me for like who I was. But I've learned recently that I wouldn't have this following if I was someone else from the beginning, and I knew from the beginning I was always likable, if you get me, because obviously I wouldn't have this following right now, would I? So I feel like I just need to take a step back, think about what I actually want to like produce and content wise, and I want to actually like get back to that. Do you get me? Social media is a place where you compare yourself a lot. You compare yourself so much to everyone. If you see someone succeeding in like acting a certain way, then obviously you're going to take that from someone and take that from someone else, like put it into your own content, because obviously if they're being successful, then I'll be successful. I'm not saying social media is a bad thing, because social media is freaking amazing, and literally it's taking me to this place right now, and I feel like I am the best version of myself I can be right now, and it's actually like mad. Take it as it is, you know, and like use it to your benefit. So that's what I'm doing with social media, honestly. I've already been in this YouTube game like for like 2 years now, and all my friends around me, they're so confident. They know what they're doing. They know not to read hate comments. They know not to like beat themselves up if someone says you changed and stuff like that. But like I'm so new to this, it's crazy. I just like admire them so much because they've been in it for like 5 years plus. I'm just trying to get back to base and like realize why I did this in the first place, and like I just want to make people happy, to be honest. If someone comes to be funny, that is the best compliment in the whole entire world. I swear, like I freaking love it. So yeah, I'm just trying to get back to that. What is the Wave House? Do you live there permanently? I'm so behind, lol. So basically the Wave House is a content creator house which I moved into. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, like why are you living there like temporarily and stuff like that, but I'm actually not. At the beginning we all got told we were living there for 3 months, but like this is like long-term shit now, guys. We're living there for way more than 3 months now. It's honestly blown my mind how much you've blown up. Like literally we got 2 million followers in a week. A week. How disgusting is that? We were making content that's never ever been made before, like by content creator houses. You know, we're not just like a house which like stands in front of a camera and like dances, you know, like we don't do that shit. Like we are very much like out there. We are so extra. We had a helicopter come to our place, water park in our back garden. We're having 2 roller coasters set up next week for us. Like the whole thing about the Wave House is to make unbelievable content for people to see, like, wow, that's crazy. It's like a shock factor thing. It's like more like a wow. We just want to wow people pretty much. I mean, like it's done it so far, so we're living, but I feel like there's been a lot of comments where it's like, oh, read the room, honestly money's got to you, like you've changed so much. But like the way which I portrayed me being so overwhelmed and overexcited comes across as flexing, and I just didn't really realize that. Do you get me? Whenever I'd be like, oh my god, like, look what's in front of me, look what's in front of me, everyone thinks that I'm rubbing it in their faces. Do you get me? But like if you had the opportunity, you obviously would document that, wouldn't you? And therefore that makes people comment that I'm not relatable anymore, which obviously I started off from, because obviously I did like all the weeks in their lives and all my boarding school stuff. So it's a very big transitional period in my life, going from like uni into COVID and then doing lockdown for 6 months and then going into this house. Been a major change, a massive change. So yeah, Wave House is absolutely mad. I'm so grateful for everything which is happening. Also, I live with my best friends as well, which is so sick. Like I literally love them to pieces, and like, literally I'm getting closer and closer with them like every single day. I'm blown away. Does it bother you that people call you a Tory? Yes, it does bother me, because first of all, people make assumptions on me. They assume my political views based on the content which I create, but that's very like surface level. They never actually see like the real me, especially on TikTok. They'll see a video I upload and they're just like, oh, Tory. They see literally nothing else except from that one video, therefore they're gonna make assumptions. And for me, I like to keep my political opinions like very private, so I'm not gonna talk about them like on my socials. I just don't really like talking about it, to be honest, so I'm not going to talk about it. End of. When did you decide to join the Wave House? We actually started like thinking about the Wave House, I think it was April when it started like literally like becoming like an actual thing. And literally, so basically Jimbo, Eloise and Connie were on FaceTime one night and they were like, oh, like all these content creator houses, we should like make one but like make it bigger and better and wild. Jimbo and Eloise pitched it to their management, which is Yoke Management, who I'm with now. They were like, oh, so what do you think about this? And then they were like, oh, like give us 10 minutes, we'll call you back. They called the CEO of the whole company and he was like, I'm game. And then now we're here. 6 months later, we're literally in the house, the most beautiful house I've ever stayed in. I literally am living with my best friends and it's actually mad, like absolutely crazy. Plus at that time I was like deciding whether like I should have done uni or not, because like by the time that COVID came around, I was in uni and I was crying. I was having so many breakdowns because I was like, I hate the course I'm doing, I don't like what I'm doing, I hate it. It's a very competitive course, you get me? The fact that that opportunity came around so close after like COVID started and stuff like that, I was just like, grab it, go, just go, like literally game time. Everything happens for a reason. I am mad about it. Are you no longer moving in with Izzy and Steph? I actually am. I'm moving in with them in January, so the plans are still on, don't worry. I would never ever leave them behind. I am moving in with my best bitches and that's it. That is final. Hopefully we're moving in January and we're gonna start looking for houses like next month. I'm literally so excited. Y'all aren't even ready for it. You just aren't ready for it. How do you deal with beauty standards and body issues? Well, do I have a story for you? I've gone through it this year. So before COVID, I was fine. I was just chilling. COVID depleted, honestly. As soon as I went on TikTok and like my For You page was just full of exercising, diet tips, I was gone. I was like, oh my god, why am I like this out of shape? And like I wasn't. I was just overthinking it. The way that I've dealt with it now is, it is my body. My body looks after me. My body's my temple. I'm talking right now because of my body. The thing is, you just gotta look after yourself. Did you see my YouTube video like a couple months back? I literally did like running 8K every single day for a week. Who the fuck was I? Who was that? If I have a spot, I'm instantly insecure. The way I deal with it is that it's like, no one cares. You pick out way more about yourself than others do about you. Because if you know that you're the most self-scrutinizing, what everyone else sees, it's not going to be as bad as what you see, you get me? Also just remember, you're beautiful. You are never going to be anyone else except from yourself, so therefore embrace it. Confidence is the first thing people see. I'm not even joking. Literally, it is such an attractive trait. If you don't even feel that confident, fake it till you make it. That's all the advice I can give you. How are you affording to pay for the Wave House? There are basically investors behind the Wave House, so basically we get like sponsorships and like brands pay for our rent. Basically I'm not paying to stay in the Wave House. I am just working, doing my brand deals, you know, doing my YouTube, so I have my own like income like through doing my own work. I'm so lucky and so grateful for it. It's actually mad. I'm also moved in with my boyfriend. That's mad. That's a big step, like honestly. How's your mental health doing? Kate, I love you, by the way. Love you too. Throughout COVID, it was not the best, not gonna lie. I was overthinking my content, what I was producing and stuff like that, but like now I'm feeling so much better. I feel like more like myself myself, and I feel like I'm in the right path. There's a lot of pressure on me at the moment, which is a given, but it is what it is. The thing is, I love it. I live and breathe this shit. Like, the Wave House is like literally the best opportunity ever, because it's like, first of all, it's got routine. Wake up at 9, we have a meeting at 9:30 every single day. That's where we like brainstorm content, and then we like organize stuff like that for that day. We'll have like things on like every single day, like things that we like come to our house and we like shoot with it and stuff. Basically, we shoot all day, and in the evening like we edit it, and I'm the editor. I am actually the Wave House editor.
I was supposed to be in the video.
No, it's a really nice routine, and it really like gets me like into shape. So therefore, it also makes you appreciate the weekends. Like, because before, obviously, in my gap year or even like during COVID, it was very like loose-ended. There wasn't really much to like look forward to, because every single day was a day off. Do you get me? So like now, like I see the weekends, I'm like, wow, like TGIF. Honestly, live and breathe it, and it's just like the best thing. And I love putting my energy into it as well. Like, if you're doing something you don't enjoy it, don't do it. That's my motto. Is your relationship as perfect as it seems on the internet? It makes me think mine isn't. Oh my god, no, honey. Honestly, there are so many ups and downs with relationships. It's been very interesting for me and Calm, obviously, because we have literally just first of all moved in together for the first time. Throughout Corona, we were locked down together. We just learned so much more about each other. It wasn't all like fun and giggles and sparkles and rainbows and cupcakes. We had like downfalls. We would cry in each other's arms sometimes. We would argue. Like, it's a way of like getting to know someone, but like I would never ever video that type of stuff, because first of all, that's so inappropriate, and second of all, I like to obviously keep my like relationship quite private and stuff like that, so I'm obviously not gonna chat about like the arguments. And if there's not ups and downs, then it's a boring relationship. Do you get me? Like, there's always gonna be highs and lows. There always will be. Never ever compare your relationships to people online, because honestly, all they're showing is the good bits. As a viewer, I don't think you care as much about what we want to see anymore. I still do. Obviously, I still do. I love to get your guys' feedback. I love to know like, what you guys actually want to see like from my content, but at the same time, I want to make content which makes me happy. Like, I never ever want to upload something which I'm not happy with, or like feel like forced to make content which I know that make other people happy, because I should obviously always put myself first. If I'm not happy with content I upload, like, that's just so unfulfilling for me, and that's the difficulty with like YouTube. They just want to say one type of content from the person they admire, but it's also like also my well-being. I want to like create stuff which I want to create and upload. I still do obviously take it into account. The only thing is that I don't have as much time anymore, because honestly, like, the Wave House is a very intense job. It's 9:30 in the morning till you go to sleep. Once we get more into routine in Wave House, we'll be fine, but like at the moment, all I'm doing is just trying to vlog whenever I can, and like trying to bring you onto this like journey and like experience what I'm experiencing. And I love you guys' feedback, so yeah, just let me know. But yeah, on that note, I'm probably gonna end this video. I hope I answered the questions which I wanted to ask, and I feel like within myself I feel a bit better, and I feel like this will definitely change the way my content goes forward, and I feel like it needs to take a step back and just go back to base. Now, after answering those questions and like sitting here, I feel so much more relieved. Now I'm just trying to get back to me. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!